how they attract power, and how they earn respect. I got my partner in crime, Mr. Kevin Carr, Mr. Career Crossover in the house. What
What's
it do,
up?
baby?
Hey man, we good. We happy. We're glad it's the holidays. And my man 50 Grant all the way from Brooklyn's
Brooklyn
in the
in the
house.
house, no doubt,
No
no doubt.
doubt. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
How
man. So
how
talk.
goes
Let's
it?
talk. Yeah, man. Today is the kickoff for the NBA, baby.
NBA season. We always give an update on sports, entertainment, life, obviously serious issues, and there are so many going on. But we're gonna give a brief picture window into the pre window of what's to come for the NBA season, and we're gonna pull Asia Jones in this discussion in a little bit. But I gotta give props. The NBA is really laid out a nice format for a season that will be unlike any other season, like last season was like any other season.
Season. That's right.
So this one will be not in a bubble, this will be bubbleless, or kinda, and it will allow fans and six teams to be able to see games, and obviously not full capacity. There is a, I guess, phase out model where the first couple teams will sort of try out, and then the rest will join. Now, people may be asking, man, the NBA just stopped. I mean, literally less than almost 3 months ago,
Right.
they were battling out in Orlando, and now they're back. Well, of course, I can always have year round basketball, so I don't have any problems with that. But at the same time, we know that business calls and they've got to get back to fulfilling that big TV contract. And
That's
it
right.
allows us to actually get content very early, even the best matchups tonight. I mean, what a matchup. The King of LA will be crowned early in the season tonight. And then there's a great matchup, obviously East Coast versus West Coast. Brooklyn, your peeps. I hope
That's
they
right. My
win.
Brooklyn Nets, baby, versus the Golden State Warriors. That's going to be the game right there. I
Well,
don't know about that. The Lakers Clippers game. Eh.
come on, man. Anytime you have the man LeBron playing, it is a game. We have
No,
to watch.
there's no doubt
All right.
about it. But I think I think the mystique about that is not as great as it was because they got some. I mean, the Clippers lost some key folks. I don't know, man. I mean, they got Serge Ibaka. They I don't know,
All
man. You
right,
know,
but in all likelihood, there's a very interesting talk away from the game, being that Adam Silver has even forecasted some possible expansion talk, and we all
yeah,
know first lineup is in line as Seattle. They were unfortunately taken team moved to Thunder in terms of Oklahoma City. So now, first up, hopefully they get their chance. Bring back the Sonics, which I always thought was a cool brand, and the green and yellow.
yeah.
So I think hey, we'll see. But other than that, I'm liking the fact that basketball is back, and we hope that there'll be no major disruptions, considering what is lying ahead for everybody, the uncertainty of COVID as we go into the winter. So do the protocols. NBA, y'all got a tight ship. Keep it going. As an NBA alumni, WNBA alumni here, we're going to bring Asia in a minute. So hold tight. We got one more preview. What is going on in entertainment in terms of the business or the life of it?
There's
Joel,
a
break it down.
there's a lot going on, man. You know, my man Buster Rhymes just came out with a remix. The Czar
Mm.
remix is hot. It's him, MOP, and the new kid on the block, Real CJ. I'm telling you, you got to check this kid out. He's representing the Boricuas. My man James Cruz is repping him. He's
Mm-hmm.
doing big things, putting up big numbers. I mean, 9 million views on YouTube. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's breaking the internet. He's top 50 on Billboard charts. Real CJ, check him out. His hit record is Whoopty, but he's on the remix with Buster Rhymes. This kid is like 20 something years, maybe 20 years old, wet behind the ears, and he's
Mm-hmm.
already doing joints with Buster Rhymes. Incredible. Then
Incredible.
Let's talk about the stimulus package, guys.
Gosh, okay.
It finally been passed, but check it out.
Mhm.
What's important to me, as a New Yorker, I'm all about the culture.
Okay.
Broadway, yeah. I'm a kid from Brooklyn, but I love me some Broadway. Don't
Okay.
get it twisted.
Okay. What's your favorite? What's your favorite? Give us a favorite show. Break it down. You had top 2 then. Come on, if you struggle.
Oh, you put me on the spot. I mean, one of them that came into my mind was Into the Woods.
Okay.
The other one that comes to mind is Les Miserables.
Mhm.
So those are my two.
Okay, good.
Because I didn't get a chance to see The Wiz.
Okay, I was about to
Stephanie
say The
Mills
Wiz
and all
got to
that.
be in there.
Yeah, but I never got to see it, so I can't call it.
Okay, you gotta be there. Okay, and what's the other one? And what's the other one you said? Les Miserables.
Les Miserables.
Oh, got it. Good. All right, well, good stuff.
So some part of that money is going to go to the Broadway, but what's even bigger, because the people behind the scenes, such as agents and managers, can now get access to the stimulus money. So as a small business owner, that's huge. Yeah, so if you know anybody that's is an agent or they're a manager of an artist, get this money, baby. Get this money.
Okay.
Want to give a big shout out to the Drink Champs. That's one of my favorite podcasts with Noriega. And, as I think about podcasts, I want to give a big shout out and rest in peace to my two favorite hip hop attorneys, Ed Woods and Mr. Reggie Osei. Reggie Osei had the Combat Jack podcast, and that's what kind of really had a lot of artists start, doing their podcast. And I remember them when they were working with Louise West and Clark Kent. They used to represent Clark Kent and a whole bunch of folks. So, these guys are in heaven, but their spirit is reigning. And perfect example, Drink Champs. He had Pharrell in there. Pharrell came in there ready to market his skincare product, Human Race. He came in guns a-blazing, talked about his partnership with David Grubman with the Swan, and it had this drink called Purple Rain. So when you go to the Swan in Miami, make sure you get you some Purple Rain. Okay. And another shout out to Stretch and Bobito. They had Rosie Perez. Go check out that episode. Just to let you know, today is the 125th anniversary for the Puerto Rican flag. So represent. And they got a joint out. You can get a 7-inch if you're into vinyl, called the Que Bonita Bandera, baby.
Okay, I like the way you roll in the linguistics. You are all on it, man. Go ahead.
Oh man, you gotta understand, man. I got an uncle that's a player, man. He's had a Venezuelan girlfriend. He's got a Panamanian.
It's a family show. Come on.
we United Nations over here.
Okay, we can't leave out that doesn't happen in real life. We understand that. Okay.
Shout out to my uncle. Then we got the 8th anniversary of the originals: D Nice, Clark Kent, Stretch Armstrong, Tony Toca, and Rich Medina. Their 8th anniversary of the originals, of them DJing and really bringing in the energy and the music. 1st anniversary of Union Square Shoes, my partner in crime, Jimmy Mack.
Okay, shout out to Jimmy Mack. Great.
And what's great about it, Brad Sims, he's a BMX rider, was a brother, was the Vital Rider of the Year and the Nora Cup Rider of the Year for BMX.
So what's relevant about Jimmy, though? Tell him about the product first. African-American, what?
First African-American BMX lifestyle owner
and brand. Shout out brand. To hope you're doing well. Keep healthy, my brother. Stay healthy.
That's right.
Let's go.
We're gonna wrap this up with Chris Gotti. Got a new record label distribution deal for Adventures Music Distribution. Jazzo, check him out. 9 p.m. on Saturday with his Subtleback Saturdays. Jazzo is the one that actually put Jay-Z on, and he's going to be coming on our show in a couple of weeks. We're discussing when we could schedule him in. And last but not least, my NYU alumni, Miss Elizabeth Wellington, has been awarded the NABJ 2021 Salute to Excellence for commentary on a selection of columns with the theme being a black woman in America. Now, speaking of being a black woman in America,
yes,
right? Speaking of being a black woman in America, this is what we got, baby. We have
Let's roll out the carpet.
1998 WCBCA All-American, 2002 AP Third Team All-American, 2002 NCAA Final Four and Mid-East Region All-Tournament Team, 2002 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament Most Outstanding Player. Woo! 2001 Big East Tournament All-Tournament Team, selected 2000 NCAA Final Four All-Tournament Team, 1999 Big East All-Tournament Team, 1999 Big East Rookie Team, EuroLeague Women Final 8, 2012 MVP, a gold medal list for the 2012 Olympics, 2018 inducted into the New Jersey Hall of Fame, 2015 WNBA championship with the Minnesota Lynx, and a 2019 NBA assistant coach champion of the Washington. You know, my bag. That's right.
Got to correct it. Give it to the ladies.
Get it right. Get it right, Joel. WNBA coach. I mean, she's a power forward on power moves. And guess what? She completed her degree at UConn, the Huskies. You're a Connecticut guy, and you know I got plenty of peeps from Connecticut. So you know she's a UConn Husky. My niece went there as well.
Okay.
And we want to welcome to the show Miss Asia Jones.
Yes.
Welcome to the show. How you doing, girl?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm glad to be here with you guys. Thanks for having me. That was a long list. We sound like somebody was busy.
Yeah, you know. I mean, I can't wait till you do your Hall of Fame speech. I mean, can I get a ticket? That's all I gotta say.
Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath.
So, how are you doing with this whole COVID situation? How's family? What's going on? Holiday season?
Yeah. I live down in Florida, so you know the world is wide open down here. But, pretty much boxing.
You're not lying about that.
Yeah.
Well, we want to welcome you to the show. We're so happy.
I go boxing and I sit in the house the rest of the day and just work from here.
That's what's up.
Well, Asia, you know I've been wanting to get you on. So good to see you, looking great. Tell your family we said hello, and we're going to continue with the interview here. So, you know, my first question, and it's not one that you certainly can't answer, is just in terms of just how did you figure out that, you know, basketball? I just want to kind of just talk about how did you know you had game in terms of basketball to where you could go to a higher level from high school to college, then college to the pros? Like, how did you know you had game at each level?
That's tough. Basketball is something I've loved since the time I was 3 years old. So for me, I did it because it was fun and I enjoyed it. I happened to be 6'2" since the time I was 12 years old. So kind of all the things were just, all the things kind of laid out for me early on. In high school, I remember my father said to me, he's like, you know, you can like be one of the best players who ever done this. And I'm like, come on, whatever. I'm just take me to practice. But just for me, I just stayed in the gym. I loved it. I would go home, practice in my backyard some more. So it was just something I love to do, and thank God I was good at it.
That's awesome. What do you think gives today's players a sense that what do you think they need in order to have a progressional career like you've had? Like a lot of young girls aspire to be where you are, but what is the in between? What are the small little extras that the younger players don't know in terms of what it takes to be successful at every level? You've done it over and over and over.
For me, my outlook always is just stay in the moment, taking each day one day at a time. I learned that in college because if you start looking ahead, just think you're gonna miss all this that's going on right now. There's all these little tidbits, all these people you meet, all these little words of wisdom people give you along the way. And if you're looking too far ahead, you don't have time to kind of really sit and let those soak in. So for me, it's always been just stay in the moment and just focus on what you're doing right now and do this day the best you can do it and worry about everything else later. But if you do that every day, like there's nothing else to do. You just got to try to be better and just do your best to like, wow, can't believe I made it this far. Because every day you're just going hard.
Mm-hmm. Good. Thank you so much. Joy, what you got, man? I want to make sure I don't hog it up. This is my girl, so I want to make sure I give you some space.
Yeah, no,
I'll
it's all good because we definitely want we amongst greatness right now. So we want to definitely enjoy it and savor it like a good bottle of my man rosé joint. So
mm-hmm.
so tell us, you're a business owner. You're a business owner, Asia, and you're doing your thing. This is our money segment. So cha-ching, cha-ching. You got this saying called "figure it out." So, how did you build two businesses making money? Did you get that? Hello?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. I think my internet's cutting out.
Yeah, I think the transmission is bad or a little slow here. Let's take it over again, Joel. Just go at it one more time.
Can you hear us better now?
I think it's a slow drag. So once we say something, she can say something.
Okay. So I was talking about you have two businesses that you're running as you're still in the WNBA. Could you tell us about how you've been making money and generating revenue running your businesses? Hello?
We may have to switch to the call. We heard you for a split second.
So delayed.
Let's do this. I'm going to text you our phone number.
Asia, one of the things sometimes we haven't had this before, but you may need to call the dial-in number, the one tap mobile, and just call in.
Okay.
See if that'll help.
All right. Do you want me to hang up in the Zoom?
It'll come on. If it comes on, yes, you can see if it'll dial in. We won't lose that transmission of you visually, but if you get the dial in, go ahead and hang up the Zoom because it'll make a feedback. We'll know you're on.
Of course, it's going to work right now. The Zoom is working.
It is. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Oh my God! Right, it actually is. Let's keep that on your hip pocket. Keep it real close.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
So we were talking about we were talking about your businesses. Like, kind of share with us, how did you get into the cha-ching of two separate businesses?
As I'm getting older, playing, I was looking for an exit strategy, and I have a business degree actually from UConn. Mm-hmm. So my dream always was, I'm going to have businesses and people are going to make me money. I've been making people money a long time. That's my future. That's what I want to do. So just being around the sport, a lot of my friends, even at the time, heels for people with larger feet, are comfortable that shoes that look nice, not grandma shoes or just flats. People want to wear heels. They want to look nice like everyone else. So that was a natural progression. All my friends were talking about it, and I just went out and I did it. I mean, I'm almost like I'm tired of talking about stuff. Let somebody just do something. If it
Hmm.
works, it doesn't work. If it works, great. But I mean, I got to try. So I'm the kind of person who likes to be comfortable. So that's like been my challenge is always is like constantly how can I make myself uncomfortable? Because for me, comfortable is great, but I know that's not how you progress. It's not how you grow in comfort. So I'm always
Mm.
challenging myself to kind of push myself and step outside my boundaries. And since I retired, that's literally been my life day to day. I'm a natural introvert and I don't really like talking to people. I'm not a networker naturally, so I've been pushing myself to go outside and do all these things with people who are outside of the basketball world. So knowing that and knowing that I can't get stuck in this space as a basketball player, because soon this is going to be gone, and it's been my identity my whole life. So what am I going to do? I'm not going to be one of the people who's super depressed and then my life falls apart. I'm like I have to avoid that. I need to get ahead of it. What am I going to do? I'm like just try it, just go out and just do it. So I mean, initially it was great. There's a period where I didn't have great people as part of that business, but now we've kind of weeded all that out and we're ready to move forward. Actually, the first week of January, we're gonna do a live event where we're reintroducing the shoe. So that's gonna be fun. That's kind of like what's been going on after my season during COVID. Like you have all this time in the house to just sit and dream, and what else can we do? So that's coming up. Um, uh, Inside basketball here, now that I live in Florida, I've been here for 4 years, and most of my friends have sons. So I'm seeing all the stuff they're doing for their boys in basketball. It's all these things are available, all these different teams, and I'm just seeing that it's not the same opportunities for the girls. So I'm like, well, I need to do something. I'm a WNBA coach. I live here. I have literally 7 months that I used to go overseas, and now I'm home. So what are you gonna do? I'm like, I need to start a basketball academy. So I'm in the works of doing that right now. So just constantly trying to do something else and push myself and grow. That's kind of what I've been working on, what I've been doing.
Mm.
Can you explain? I love that you pushing yourself, and that's a
It's hard.
that is it is definitely hard, and you have this, that's not something that's just germane to a professional player like yourself or any professional player. It's also germane to just regular people. If you wouldn't mind, can you kind of share with us what steps did you take to say, I know I'm going to be uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it anyway?
Hmm. It's not just me, it's the people who have my life. My wife Jennifer she's completely opposite from me. She's things I'm terrible at. She's great at. She's great at talking. She's a networker, and she also she might be sick of me by now, but she's always like kicking me, like get out. She's lived in corporate America, and I have not. So she knows those kind of things, the ins and outs of it. So for me, she's been great. She's been great, just kind of showing me the things I don't know, and like this is how things get done. You have to meet these people, and when you have ascended to a certain level as an athlete, people just come to you. They want things from you. You don't have to go out and ask. But now that I'm not in that space anymore, I have to go and ask for things. That's really hard for me, is to ask people for things or ask for help. So that's probably my first step is like recognizing like that was before. This is gonna go away and be okay with it and not let it be like for like an ego kick or you feel down on yourself because these things are gonna be gone. Like no, it's just a natural progression of life. This is how people are. It's nothing to do with you. So now that you're out of that space, this is what you're gonna have to do to adjust. Um, right now, with everything going on, people are realizing that they have to pivot. There's no job you have to do for the rest of your life, like it was back in the 60s or whatever. Everyone's doing the job and they do something else and they do this and they do that. You can be all these different people. And that's when I'm realizing that I'm trying to do all these different things because for so long I was just this one thing. And I have so much more to give, and I know that. And I'm just really trying to let people see it. Um, and it's all about stepping outside your comfort zone.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. What you got, Kev?
Yeah, I love, and we're gonna still stay on this piece because I think, the concept of reinvention, right? I mean, you literally have dug deep. What is it that for the athletes that watch this, and a lot of people know you as well as I. We've been, tied to the league as alumni, and on this other side, it's different when you're really walking away from a brand like the WNBA or like USA Basketball, and you're back in it, but you're back in it as a coach and as a business owner. You've had to recreate or reinvent. What's the lonely part about that, and how do you battle out of the mental struggle of that? Because I think some people are afraid to leave that big brand, right? That brand, that family, and feel like they're not 100% um themselves when they're not going to have that. But you have still been able to be somebody who's continued to achieve success. What's that first part about when you leave it? What is that like? And then how do you push to keep doing and being successful, because you obviously continue to achieve things post WNBA.
So firstly, let me say that I mentioned my wife, but I actually went to counseling. That's like
Mm.
in our community, mental health and going to therapy is kind of taboo. But I actually went to therapy and I got help because I know that that was my identity. That is how you evaluate your self worth. Is kind of like how much you're getting paid. All this different thing. For now, not during my time, but now it's like how many followers you have. All these different things that kind of people think who you are, or just people want to know you. So moving out of that space, and actually you have to get to know who you are and what your interests are outside of basketball. A lot of people don't do that. They just are basketball players. But you're going to take the time to figure out what else you like. What other things bring you joy? What hobbies you can have outside of basketball? I mean, there's a lot of time in the day. It can't just be basketball. That's your job, great, but that's not who you are. And I think for me, it was getting into that space where I knew that I needed to figure that out. And because this is going to be gone, it's going to be gone quick. I was lucky to have a long career playing to 35, but I mean, man, I got injured. I got injured, and then I played one more year. And during that injury is when it became clear that hey, you need to get it together because I was miserable. I was a miserable soul, and I know I was no fun to be around. It's like so, man, you can't spread that misery around. So you got to get help. I mean, it's an uphill battle every day. Um, I don't know if a lot of people are talking about that, but I sought help, and I probably need to go back and do some more maintenance now. Now
Well,
that this whole world has changed.
yeah, I want to talk about that because that's one of the things that's so blinding about how fortunate it is to play a long time or to play at that level. And you're right, so many people do so much for you that
Hmm.
it almost, you don't even think about the other side of it, that one day that is not going to be the case. So that mindset, it doesn't even really get developed. So then when you are on your own, you have to develop it. And there's always that runway where there's a huge gap. Like, so how did you close the skill gap? Like, I think, there are certain innate skills that you got to pick up to begin to re-identify and to lock in and to find yourself and to find what you like. What were some of those things? I heard you say counseling. Was there some other things that you did, or things you got exposed to, or things that you lost, or a victory, small little step that you won to get you going? Because I think a lot of people are saying, if I have to go new, I'm not sure I got it. So I'm not going to even do it because it's too big of a leap. But you have done it over and over and over and over. So what is it?
I think it's just not being afraid to fail.
Mm.
With the first business I had, it didn't go great. Okay, great. I stopped playing. It was 3 years where I was away from the sport. And in that time, I went and got my insurance certification. Like, I'm literally, I'm going to try. I met my neighbor. She's like, oh, you'll be great at this. So, hey, I went to class and I learned it and I studied it and I passed the exam. It didn't turn out to be that great for me in the end. I'm like, but I tried it. What?
Mm,
Okay, so what? So what? It didn't go great. So what? Um, luckily for me, in those 3 years away from the sport, I had taken really good care of my money. I had
mm-hmm,
invested. I didn't live above my means, so I wasn't desperate. I wasn't financially desperate. I was able to take that time to kind of figure things out. But literally, people I was meeting, we moved to a new area, and I was really just taking stock of all the people I was meeting and what they were doing, how can they enhance my life. And I mean, I got exposed to some great people once I really started to pay attention. As a player, you don't pay attention to all these people you have around you, but that's your network. Think about all the people you meet in college, all those boosters, all those donors. And if you kept in contact with them while you're a student athlete, hey, when you're ready to do a business, guess who you call on? Because they know you, they like you, they love you. So I didn't do that initially when I was playing. When I was at UConn, all those people who just love to be around. Um, as a pro, same thing. I didn't do a great job with that. But once I stopped playing and I moved to a new area, I made sure I did that. And again, it's just people, if you have a good personality, people like you. They want to be around you. They want to just share their knowledge with you. Like, oh, I'm playing golf now. I'm doing all these different things because of the people I've met here. And once you pay attention and just really build relationships with people, things will just fall out. And you just be ready to pick them up, pick things up, and try it. And some things
All
will
right,
click.
hold on. I gotta stop you right there. So you play golf now?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay. You trying?
I'm trying.
It's funny. My daughter, I told my daughter, I was like, listen, you need to learn how to play golf. She's like, golf, that is so boring. I don't want to play.
I thought the same thing. And I'm so angry. Because every year in college, we worked a golf tournament. I'm like, why didn't somebody make me play? Now I'm 40 years old and I'm trying to learn. It's hard now. But I mean, man, it's fun. It's fun hanging out. You're out there, you just enjoy nature. You hit the ball's not moving, you miss it, whatever, who cares? But you're out there, you're having fun with people, and you're getting to socialize, do something different. So, yeah, I mean, I live in Florida, so we can play golf all year round.
That's right.
And through that sport, I've met some incredible people.
That's awesome.
I want to touch base when it comes down to incredible people because I doing my research, I noticed that one of your businesses revolves around, you talked about you have your insurance license, that you have a partnership with a financial firm. Is that correct?
Well, I used to. That's not something I've been nurturing right now. I've gone full on in basketball and shoe mode. So, yes.
So let's talk about basketball and the quality issue. WNBA players are obviously not paid or getting paid nearly as much as even the last player on the NBA bench. How do you flip that? For the women in today's game, even, back when you played, what was it, or what can you share about, the power move that when you don't have it as a player, how do you go get it even, in today's game as a woman, that the money in sense of the salary isn't there, but how do you flip that and you go and leverage a power move to create a brand in order to, get that bigger money or create more opportunity?
Good question.
Well, they got a new CBA now, so some players are getting paid pretty well.
Okay.
The way I always thought about it was like, I'm playing for the WNBA for 4 or 5 months, and whatever money I make is for 4 or 5 months. So that's not so bad. I mean, in the general scheme of things, it's not so bad. Right. And then the rest of the months I can do whatever I want. But for me, I made most of my money overseas. The market is a little different for these players now. I got lucky. I played at the perfect time where you can make a lot of money overseas. Now these guys, I mean, I think they're doing a good job of recognizing that the sport is using them. They're realizing how to use the sport. So all these guys are, they have all their own initiatives. They're in the social justice space. They're doing all these different things. They're realizing that they're not just basketball players. I think that's the most I admire. The biggest thing I admire about the young players now, they're realizing that they have a voice and they're using it. In the past, the player voice wasn't strongly wanted. It wasn't encouraged. But today, I think our league does a good job of encouraging all that. So I think they're realizing that they're not just basketball players, and we got people who are musicians. We have people who do all different measures of things. And I think they're really taking the time to figure out who they are and their other interests. So you can use a W as kind of like, that's your platform for people to know you. Now you use that to do your other businesses. That's how you get noticed, notoriety and all this stuff. So I think you can flip that, and now you have multiple streams of income. which is the goal for everybody today, right?
Hmm.
So I think our guys are doing a good job recognizing that, there's other ways to make money besides salary.
I like that. You talked about social justice too. So I know that's been a big piece. Have you felt the impact of that from the players, and what were your reactions to, the unfortunate untimely passing of George Floyd? What were some of the things that may have now transpired in your, you know, profession, or how you approach things, or how you deal things as a result of that? Because even I've noticed that businesses have been impacted, and they're looking at doing business differently as a result of what happened, in terms of trying to create more equality for minority owned businesses.
Um, First, I wanted to say that I think that our players are doing a really good job. They're not just talking about it; they're actually taking the time to learn about the history of things, different options and solutions. They're not just saying, "Oh, that was terrible." They're actually giving solutions. They're taking the time to do the background. Stacey Abrams is meeting with us in the bubble, virtually. I'm like doing
Mm,
all the things to educate themselves. Besides just that, social justice, voting, the census, all these different measures, like what can improve for people who look like us. Our league is 80% black female. Um, so I mean, there's a lot of room to be made. I mean, there's a lot of growth to be done in our league, sure, but I think we're on the right track, and I think our players are doing a good job recognizing that. Um, I really appreciate how it's not taboo to have a voice. People are just saying what they feel. They're expressing the passion, all their feelings about about everything that's happening, and it's okay. In the bubble, my team was the first team who went on the court, and we had to make the decision not to play a game, and that was hard for our players. I watched them on the court going round and round and round, trying to figure out what to do. And in the end, my players decided they didn't want to play, and I was so proud of them. I was so proud. And during our day, I don't think that would happen. We'd have played because they would have tried to say ESPN's not going to support you guys or all these different things, but they didn't care. They took a stand because it was the right thing to do. And I was just proud. I was very proud of them. I'm still proud of them. It chokes me up when I think about the decision they made because, there were voices that were saying you shouldn't do this, and it's going to look bad for our league, or we're going to lose support, we're going to lose money, and they made the stand they need to do, and I'm so proud of them for that.
That is awesome. So, can you share with us a time where you've ever felt powerless? And what did you do to recover from that?
Powerless, huh? Um,
I mean, listen, I mean,
no,
you a
no.
champion. I mean, like when you heard me when I read your bio, and
No.
it's pretty outstanding. But you know what? Everybody has a weakness. Superman had a
Uh,
weakness. Superwoman, you know what I mean? So, can you share with us, you
yeah.
know,
So, in counseling, I realized I have like a fear of rejection, and this comes with when you're so high for so long, and then you're scared for someone to reject you. I think for me, I've always made teams. I've always had that, but going into the Olympic team, I actually didn't make that team initially. I got cut, and that was the
mm.
first time that happened to me. And then something happened, and then the spot opened up, and they called me, and they're like, "If we need to have you," and I'm like, "All right, okay, okay, I guess I'll go." But yeah, that was the first time I think I've been cut. So,
Mhm.
and again, it's the best players in the world. Okay, I get it, but yeah, that didn't feel good, and I just I try. I'm a kind of person who kind of doesn't. I don't wear my emotions on my sleeve. I keep everything in. So I don't know if I showed that to everybody around me, but that hurt me,
Mhm.
and that was tough to be rejected that way. And that's why I'm saying step outside my comfort zone because there's things that I've not done in my past because I wasn't completely confident to do them. So because of that fear of rejection, and
mm,
and that happened and that hurt me, and it worked out in the end. But that was one of the times, and something I've been doing great all my life, and to have someone tell me I wasn't good enough for it, that hurt.
wow.
So I'm
Thank you,
curious.
thank you for sharing. Thank you for
Yeah,
sharing.
Absolutely. I'm curious. What now that you know what you know about you, what's that thing that you turned down that you would have possibly done, but you didn't do it
Oh,
because you're afraid of rejection? Give us a little.
oh.
Oh, it sounds like something that Kevin, you know, it's a
Nah,
setup.
I don't.
Man,
I'm curious. I'm messing
this
with you.
is
I'm messing with you.
this now this is gonna lead to another conversation that we're gonna have probably tomorrow. It's
Okay.
it's always things like public speaking. I'm
Oh,
great. I'm grateful with stuff like this, but like to stand on a stage and give a speech. Oh my god, I just started sweating thinking about it right now.
and she's so confident, y'all. Like this woman is freaking amazing in the best sense of that word. She is an anomaly. She is a unicorn. I feel like she's got like superpowers oozing.
uh,
But when she says public speaking, yeah, I'm
uh,
gonna talk to you later. Yes, we're gonna
Woo-wee.
have to have that
open the
conversation.
can of worms there, man. I
I
Yes,
know.
see,
yes,
I
I've
see.
been ducking and dodging.
yes.
Not on
Well,
power moves.
I have a total a ton of respect for you. So playing with men on the court, how has it been to, you know, take your game on the court against men when you have played, and what is that like? And then how has it been in the business world when you've had to gain, respect in business with men? Because we have a lot of women that listen to the show, and I want to kind of delineate between those worlds, the basketball world playing with men, and now in the business world when you have to deal with men. How did you gain that respect in both arenas?
Hmm. I guess the only way to really get respect, I mean, you got to kind of demand it. Once you know your stuff, once you know what you're doing, once you're good at it, you have that confidence. It don't really matter what they say because you know what you're doing. As far as basketball, um, I think I still get this thing to. I don't even play anymore. Guys, oh, I bet I can post you up. I can take you. I'm like, man, just go ahead. That's more about you than about me. I know who I am. You know? And then,
Yes.
like growing up or during college as a professional, we always had male practice players, just to kind of, you know, I mean,
Yep.
we're the best players in the world, so you need somebody who can match up physically
Mm-hmm.
and athleticism. So we always had male practice players, but those guys they don't act like that. You know, they respect you. They
Mm-hmm.
know they recognize like who they are. They know I'm just a practice player. You're getting paid for this, but you know they come out and they play and they respect you because they see your skill. They see how hard you go. And I mean, anybody who's really into something, they can respect that. Like you see the NBA guys now talking about the W players, they
Mm-hmm.
respect us because it
Mm-hmm.
real recognize real. Those real basketball players understand that we are the same.
Mm-hmm.
Our sports are different. We don't play the same way. We're not the same athletes. So it's completely different sports. It's like boys across, girls across. They're different sports. Don't compare the two. But I mean, they know that as professionals, we should be respected. And anybody who's really a businessman and they see, or any industry, when you know what you're doing, I mean, if they don't respect you, that's more about them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have self. If they had self confidence and knew who they were, they wouldn't act like that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think that goes with any industry, with anything. When people are confident with who they are, they don't act like jerks. They don't act like that.
Mm.
So I always say that about players. When I see young women who act crazy, I'm like, I play with Diana Taurasi. You know, all these two birds, they don't act like this. I play with the
Mm.
best players in the world. And they don't act like that. So when you are really something, you don't act like that. You
Mm-hmm.
just respect people and you move like that. So when you
Awesome.
see it, yeah, recognize what you're looking at.
Mm.
You know,
Very well.
it's funny. It's funny you talk about the how the NBA players, look at you, and me personally, I'm a basketball person, and playing pickup ball down at NYU, love playing with my girls because the NYU girls team was better than us. You know what I mean? Like they won more championships than we did.
Yeah.
Similar to like UConn, right? But
Yeah.
the biggest thing is the fundamentals.
Hmm.
You guys got that down pat. The
You
mid
have to.
range is if some of the NBA players kind of took some of your skill sets and applied it, the game might be even be more ridiculous than just. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the dunk and everything. Um, love the 3 pointers, but
Hmm.
the mid range is like the forgotten science, right? So,
Right.
and with that being said, going back into what Kevin's talking about in regards to respect and being in business, what are the fundamentals that you see as you are developing your shoe company that you've incorporated as, you know what, this is a fundamental that I need to master in order for me to grow my shoe business? And could you tell us a little bit about what the shoe business is?
I'm still learning. So
Good one.
I'm still learning. I think it's really about the people who you have involved. Um, for me, like even learning about investing and things like that. Like you have coaches for all these different things. You have coaches for basketball, you got strength, you got speed, strength and conditioning, all these different coaches. So I think outside of that, anything else, you need a coach for that too. So your PR people, the people who do your landing pages, are yeah, photographers, all these different people who go into building this product, they need to be able to coach you also, and you should be there trying to learn all these different segments of the business and what it takes to get out to the customers, how to drive viewership, how to figure out exactly what kind of person might like this shoe. Because it's a niche. It's large shoe sizes.
Hmm.
Everyone doesn't have it, but there are people who are who have the need. So figuring out who those people are, all these different things go into it. So you need great people to coach you through it. It's not something that's innate to me. I don't know that naturally, but I'm trying to surround myself with the right people to help me learn all this different stuff and get the product out to people who need it, who would love it, and actually take the time to get to know us and spend their money with us.
Hmm.
So I think everything. I really believe that coaching is important.
I
Mm.
like that. I like that.
That's a very key point where you mentioned, because it is about the coaching in order for you to execute on a strategy. Good
Hmm.
point. I love that.
One of the things I have gleaned, and I'll ask my question, but one of the things I do find that when people understand how to be coached, um, they begin to pick up accountability for themselves, and they
Mm.
cover off on what they're supposed to because of that coaching. And then I believe it goes from coachability, and you learn what you own, and you become accountable for that. And then when you know what you own and you don't own that other person's piece, because on a team everybody's got to own something, you pick up productivity. And I believe that productivity, it can lead to your profitability, meaning that you're gonna get your shots, you're gonna figure out how to play the right D. Like everything begins to come together. So I love what you're saying about the fundamentals. I do think it's a lost art to be coached and to understand the best of the best head coaches, singing
Yeah.
coaches, health coaches, life coaches, strength, you know um, the a nutritionist. Those are all coaches. Your chef is somewhat your coach for what you're
Hmm.
going to put in your body. You can have the best of the best. And you always hear, LeBron has this, LeBron has that. Well, he knows that, to get the maximum out of himself, he needs not just himself to do that. He has surrounded himself with great people on and off the court to make it happen. So thank you
Hmm.
for that. I think what advice would you give young ladies, because you're doing it big when it comes to leadership and such. What does leadership look for today's woman going from 2020 into 2021? What advice would you give to young ladies who are wanting to do it big, whether it's a sport or business in general life, when it comes to leadership?
Uh, for me, um, I think everything's about accountability. I think you already touched on that, but I'm huge about accountability. No matter what situation is, no matter what happened, if someone did something to me, I'm like, how did I, what role did I play in that? And that's the only
Mm,
way I can learn from it is if I understand my piece in something. So I understand, understanding your part in everything and not always blaming other people, not looking for excuses. But that, I mean, for me, that's everything, everything, everything in personal, business, basketball, anything and everything. It's accountability. And also, I think just really, like I said, stuff, getting outside your comfort zone, figuring out, actually figure out what makes you uncomfortable and attack it. Attack it in every way you can. Realizing things you like outside of this one thing you're doing. Just, I mean, keep a list. Like, oh, I enjoyed that. Oh, they're doing that. Let me try it. Just not being afraid to fail, not being afraid to try new things. I think that when you do that, your world opens up. You don't get stuck in a little bubble or tunnel. You know, the world opens up. That's what I'm constantly trying to do is try new things and meet new people. When I meet new people, I talk to them. And I'm like, oh, okay, oh, that's the seasoning you're using in your food? Oh, that's delicious. Let me try it. Oh, you like that
Mhm.
drink? Oh, let me try it. Like when you meet
Mhm.
new people, figure out who they are, what they like, and you might find something new that you can add to your repertoire.
at at what point did you learn that as an aha moment that you need to be uncomfortable in order to grow? Was that when you went from grammar school to AAU? Was it when you got to meet up with Gino? Was it when you left from UConn to the USA basketball? At what point did you learn that being uncomfortable was it doing suicides at Gino? I mean, like what point that triggered that you can share with these young ladies and young folks?
uh,
Oh, did we lose her?
I think the transmission slowed down. Let's shake the screen and see if I get it back. We
I'm
were
like,
rolling. Oh, you back?
all
You
right, here we
back?
go, here we go.
There we go. Okay, good. Uh
Yeah.
oh.
S- Okay, I think for me, the first time was in high school. I got invited to go to the Nike Elite Camp, and I was a super homebody. And I'm like, the first year, I'm not going. My father was like, "Are you kidding?" I was like, "They called my father personally." I'm like, "Look, I don't care what you do. You have her here." So I went and I actually enjoyed it. I played with the best players in the world, or just to be a part of something that was special that I didn't get to see every day in New Jersey. Um, so for me, that was the first time it happened. Just because I was like, I don't know those people. I'm not going. I don't know if I'm that good. Whatever. Just and I went and I was like, oh, you get to see exactly where you fit in and all this stuff. Or just, I mean, I would have missed out on something amazing because I was scared. I was scared to try it. So that was the first time it happened. Going to college again, the first year is traumatizing. Your first year, it happened again there. I ended up having to play a lot of minutes, and I wasn't prepared for it.
Mm.
So that was another kick in the face. It's constantly, whenever you're moving levels and you want to get better, it's gonna happen. You switch schools, uh, all these different things happen to you in your life day to day, and all of a sudden, like you're thrown into a new situation. Every year we went overseas, and every year you go to a new team, you're in a new country. So like it's constantly happening. And what are you gonna do? It's just your life. So you just got to jump in. You take a deep breath and you just go. Like you're scared you're walking in, and then you just go. You just kind of let your
Mm.
mind be free, and you just do what you're comfortable doing.
Wow. One of the things is, you come from Jersey, you went to Powerhouse UConn, then, you went and won a championship at the Minnesota Lynx. Then you won as a coach, not your first year, second year, but you got damn close on the first year, and the second year you won it all. Like you're right up there, like with Bill
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 Russell.
Bill Russell. Like you're there. You are Bill Russell to me, and in a lot of ways, in your own way. And I know you don't relish in that. I know you're very subdued by that, but you certainly have won on every level. So my sense to you is, how did you get this sense of to win at every level, and what is it like to repeat, to see the vision of I'm here and we're gonna win, or I just have won so much that I know what it's like. A lot of people have never won anything in their life. So I want you to break it down as to how that happens for you everywhere you go, because you seem to have the secret sauce, and we want to know. Come on, give it to us.
That is very true. That is very true because not too many people can actually say that they've won at every level. It's funny. There's that little clip with Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley ranking on each other, and Barkley's like, he's not the most handsome man in the world. He's just got all this money. That's why he's handsome. And then Michael Jordan is like, how many rings you got? And he's like, why you always got to bring the ring?
Right.
Right. In your case, Asia, to what Kevin is saying, you all about them damn rings. So yeah, what is it that you've done, or how did you manifest this winning championship in vibe that you got going on?
I think it's a bunch of luck. Let me start there. But at the same time, I learned this is probably the biggest lesson I learned at UConn. We won a million games, didn't lose many, but every day he challenged us and he talked to us as if it's like, so you're going to win that game because you're more talented or you outwork them. So learning how to prepare and understanding what it takes to be well prepared and not just showing up. Just to show up is not enough. So learning how to prepare and take ownership of that and learning how to work hard was probably the biggest lessons I learned at UConn. And moving from there, I took all the stuff I learned. It kind of became who I was, who I am. Whenever I get involved in something, I'm gonna go as hard as I can. I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability, and I'm gonna recognize where I fell short and try to always get better at that. And it's also kind of like now that I moved into the next phase of coaching, I chose where I wanted to go. I chose who I wanted to surround myself with, and with Mike Tebow and his coaching staff. I mean, he's a great person. He tries to do things the right way. So that's the part of what I'm saying is about who you surround yourself with also. Choosing to go to UConn and the teams I played for, I was fortunate in the end playing for Mike Tebow and for the Connecticut Sun, where it's another great organization, great people. So just the people you surround yourself with and the lessons you can learn from them. And when people treat people really well and they try to do things the right way, good things happen to you. Good things happen to you. And I think that's kind of what's happened in my life. When I prepared for it, when it was time to seize the moment, I was prepared to do it. I was in the right situations because of people I surrounded myself with and the teams I was able to play with and the coaching staff I chose to join as a coach. I mean,
no, I love that. I love that because I can attest, not on the player side, but on the management side, I've been around major championships, 3 of them, and it did feel like I made the right decision to be in that environment. It just so happened coming together with those people and that timing, it led to championships, hockey, basketball, and football. And I will say some of it did feel like a little just, how did this happen? But a lot of it was great people. Timing and chemistry, you know what I mean? So close us out, Joel, because I know we got to get out of here. We only got a little bit of time, but we always give our guests the opportunity. So go ahead, man.
The best way I want to close out is, how do people follow you? Where do we get? Tell us about the launch of the relaunch of the shoes, the website. We want to do business with a sister girl. My daughter's gonna have big feet. She already got a size 9.5, so she's only 13, so it's going down.
And mine is 15, and she wears 12.5.
Oh, so,
yeah. We need to know.
We some girl dads over here. So
I see you. So the name of my shoe line is Takera Shoes, Takera. That's my middle name. Takara Shoes. And on my Instagram and everything, we're going to do a full media launch where you guys won't miss it. My name is Asia J on Instagram. So we're going to do a full blast where everybody can't miss it. It's going to be the first week of January. So yeah, that's going to be fun. And it's going to be something I've never done before or been a part of. So we're gonna go all out and make sure people see what we're trying to do. And look, it looks going to be fun. It's going to be nice to look at, and I think everybody's going to be excited when they see it. You guys, I don't know if your guys are wearing heels. They're heels. Might be a little grown for them. I'm not sure, but
well, my wife wears a 12 and a half. So
well, every
right.
once in a while, come on. I mean, you got to be a little progressive nowadays.
Exactly.
Give them a little 1-inch joint.
Little kitten heel. Those are harder to walk in than real heels, by the way.
Yeah. Well, hey, we so appreciate you coming on the show. I love you for that. Thank you so much. And the things that you've done, continue to prosper, continue to be blessed. You and your family stay healthy, stay safe, stay smart, and keep prospering, keep building.
And happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all that. And thank you to In Touch News and all everybody. Have a safe, happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Absolutely.
Merry Christmas to you too, Mr. Kevin Carr and
Same
the Carr
you,
Clan. The Carr Clan.
And my man, 50 grand from Brooklyn. Absolutely.
In the house.
Wonderful 2020 into 2021. Thank you, Asia.
21. Thank you, Asia,
Thank you
for
for
all your
having me.
time.
Thank you
Takara
for having
Shoes, baby. We out.
Get you some.
Once
Peace.
again, this is Power Moves, where
Power
celebrities,
Moves.
athletes, key influential
Celebrities,
executives
athletes.
share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. See you next week. Oh, no.
Right.
Are we on next week? I don't think we're on next week.
Okay. We get Christmas off?
We get
Holidays
Christmas off. Yeah.
Oh, man. Go ahead. Thanks.
We out. We're going to do a
CEO.
repeat. Take us out, DJ CEO. We out.
Take care.